Hello everyone. Tata Steel, one of the biggest tournaments of the year, is ongoing, a tournament with a long history. Today we're looking at the game between the Maraju Gukesh and Anish Giri. This is Gukesh's first game after winning the world champion title. Gukesh was white and opened with knight f3. Giri plays knight f6, then g3. Giri plays d5, bishop g2, c5. Giri takes control of the center. Kingside castle, knight c6, d4, e6, c4. Giri then takes at c4. Gukesh plays queen a4, attacking an undefendable pawn at c4, because it would lead to an unfavorable position like this. Black plays bishop d7, c5. The knight here doesn't have a good move. The best would be to a5, but even that is not ideal because the queen would just retreat. So Giri plays c5 immediately to let the queen take the pawn, which leads to equal material. Bishop e7, Gukesh develops further with knight c3. Giri castles. The best move here is rook to d1, attacking the open line where both the bishop and the queen are, but Gukesh plays e4. Rook c8, queen e2, bishop c5, bishop g5, h6. Here Gukesh retreats to h4. If he took after the queen takes back, and black would have a slight advantage in the end. h4 is a weird move here, because black can easily trap the bishop. But Gukesh sacrifices his knight for 2 pawns, threatening to bind the knight, but Giri blocks it with e5. Queen d2, threatening to take both the knight and the bishop. The best move here is bishop e7. Next is bishop h6 attacking the rook, but the hidden threat is not the taking of the rook, but queen g5 with mate. Giri prevents this with king to h7. Gukesh takes the rook, Giri takes back, f4, bishop e6. Giri wanted to exchange queens, but white plays knight d5. Taking there is not ideal as there is a pawn to take back, but it would also enable the remaining bishop to move freely again. Despite that, white doesn't win material here, even though it may seem that he had a fork, because of knight d4. White can't take because the queen would fall with a check, but there are still moves that white can play, such as queen d1. Giri of course doesn't take here, but plays knight b4, seemingly leaving the knight for the taking, but the queen would fall if he took. e5. Now Giri plays another great move in knight g4, moving the attacked knight but also making way for rook c2. If Gukesh played h3, rook c2, then when the queen retreats the knight falls, and after taking back the bishop falls as well. Then on king g2, queen e5, then bishop e5, a quick mate for black. Gukesh here moves his rook to d1. The idea is to prevent the rook c2 move, which now can't be played because of knight f6. As you can see, white would end up with a better position. Giri moves his king to h8 to enable rook c2 again. King h1, rook c2, queen f4, knight d5. White can't take with the pawn because of bishop d5, the white bishop hanging, which can't take either because it would eventually lead to a mate for black. Gukesh plays queen f3 here, the only move that keeps the position for him. Black here has a brilliant move in rook e2. He can take with the king, a check with the knight. Then when the king retreats, the rook falls, with a quick mate following up after that. Queen b6 sealed the deal, because if the king retreats, the other rook falls. Taking with the queen is a must there, but it leads to a triple attack from the knight, where the rook falls in the end. Keep in mind that at this point they're under 5 minutes and it was only the 26th move. Knight e3 would be the best move for black here. If white takes it, bishop d5 check, on king g1, queen a5, black would have a better position here, but Giri didn't see it and played queen b6. Gukesh now takes the knight, next is rook f2, attacking the queen and the rook. He can't take because of the double attack on the knight, queen c3, bishop b4, queen c1, bishop f5, now queen g5 threatens the king, bishop f8 to defend the king, queen h4 check, now Giri defended with bishop h6. King g8 was a slightly better alternative. To now take the rook, then knight f2 check, king obviously can't move to g1 because of this famous double check, and then the sacrifice of a queen ending in a mate. White would have to give up quality here in hopes of defending, but black has advantage either way. As said, Giri played bishop a6, where the bishop was defended by the knight. Rook e1, queen b2, h3, and another great move in bishop e4. Everything is hanging for both players now. Taking the knight leads to the fall of the bishop and rook with a quick mate. Taking with the bishop leads to this quick mate here. Taking with the rook leads to a mate again. The only relatively safe move here is rook f2, which Gukesh plays. Knight f2 check, king can't move to h2 because once again a quick mate is inevitable. Gukesh plays king g1. Here another quick win for black can be found in knight g4. Here he frees up space for the queen to attack the white bishop while also defending his own bishop. The bishop can't take here due to a mate in 2. He can't take the knight either due to another mate. The king is forced to h1 with a mate. Giri in the last seconds here plays queen b6. Gukesh plays queen f6, forcing a trade of the queens. The knight at f2 hangs again, and Giri can't move it because the bishop hangs as well. Firstly, he exchanges the bishop, knight d3, then rook e8 check, king h7 as the only move here, and now d6, the pawn here free for a promotion. The knight c5, rook e5, knight d7, rook e7, with two figures hanging, Anish Giri surrenders here in the 42nd move. Giri can't move the knight here because Gukesh would have a stronger position in the end either way. If you enjoyed this match analysis, make sure to leave a like on this video, share it with a friend, put down a comment, and subscribe to our channel as it helps us deliver you more quality chess content for you to enjoy. Have a nice day and see you in the next one.